You think the safest place in the world for your baby is wrapped in your arms. It can also be one of the most dangerous because parents most often spread pertussis, whooping cough, and it's potentially fatal to infants. Researchers found up to 80% of babies get it from family members. Ask your healthcare provider about the adult pertussis vaccine today, because your baby could be this close to catching it.
Alright, so I'm sure you've seen this commercial. Dramatic, right? But have soon-to-be mothers really weighed the pros and cons of getting their babies vaccinated and how it might impact their futures and the rest of the generation? Maybe they have, maybe they haven't. Recently, a wave of parents have opted to not have their babies vaccinated, but this creates huge problems for the surrounding community. The problem that occurs when a lot of people decide not to receive vaccines is that the overall national immunity decreases. Think about this. Almost 100 years ago, mumps was a disease that killed a large portion of the population. 10 years ago, there were no cases of mumps still in the US because of the majority of the population being vaccinated. Today, mumps is starting to reappear because the immunization rates are much lower than they were 10 years ago. Getting a vaccine doesn't completely outrule a child for getting the disease, so not only are these parents hurting their child, they are hurting other children as well. In 1998, a study was released linking vaccines and autism in children. This study was debunked in 2011, but many parents are still concerned about the possible negative effects of vaccines. The truth is that vaccines do have a potentially damaging effect, but the odds of a vaccine affecting your child is almost 1 in 1 million. Compare this with the odds of being struck by lightning, which is 1 in 12,000. Vaccines are relatively very safe. Also, add in the fact that without vaccines, many more children will be dying from disease, and the pros definitely seem to outweigh the cons. The only way that this national crisis is going to be solved peacefully is through compromise. My idea to soothe both parents' worries and get the rates of immunization in the US back to where they should be is through specialty branches of medical degrees that certify doctors to be experts in vaccines. Sometimes many doctors don't know what new vaccines entail, so instead of taking your baby to a regular pediatrician, top medical schools in the US should start training doctors specifically in vaccinations. Then these specialists will be able to talk with the parents of the babies, and together, they would be able to figure out a good schedule for their baby to get the shots. This way, the parents can feel more comfortable, and they will have a larger degree of flexibility when deciding about their baby's immunization. This proposal is very feasible, and I also think that it would be accepted by most of society. It would take a few years to implement nationwide, and it would also require an input of some money, but I think after these doctors are put into place that the money that was put in will come back out. The only other solution is to pass a law to mandate that everyone gets their vaccines, but I think this law would be breaching on certain parts of the Constitution. I also think that it would upset many young mothers. My solution is much more practical, and it only persuades mothers to like vaccines instead of forcing them to like it.